Let's hop on in. Okay, we were at the hive. She do. Listen, Laura is a baddie. Right, lag aware, right? See, I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring it out. I love this loading screen. Okay, y'all, we in the hive. We're in the hive. Let me turn the music down just a little bit so I can hear it a little bit better. There we go. Beginner process of learning how to use the editor and make a level. However, yes, doing a very classic core style. Okay, TR4 level with no new custom stuff. So imagine if TR4 got some new levels back in the day. Okay, Jill, I'm excited. I'm gonna start my playthrough of TR4 soon. So, I can't wait. This is the expansion to Tomb Raider 1. It's called Unfinished Business. So they oh God. We just started. Oh God. This level can kiss the crack of my ass. Oh my God, Nate. Yes. No, listen, JSR, you can never go wrong with the catsuit. Matter of fact, I need to put some mods in here because I want Laura to run around in her catsuit. Oh my God, y'all. I just fucking got here. Oh, okay, see, you know what? What? Are we doing this already? Y'all. Why do they have all these damn boulders on the ceiling? At least half a year away or more. You got plenty of time. When it's done, it's only a demo. There's gonna be 4 large levels. Oh, that's wonderful, Jill. Thank you for the follow, Kimmy. Welcome in. That's so rude. Look at these boulders, y'all. Like, I don't even know what to do. I was making a level way back in the day. Okay, and it was centered around collecting heart stones to access Aphrodite's place. Okay, basically the premise was going to different god tombs and collecting the heart stones. Oh, you should get back into it. That's awesome, Nate. You should totally get back into it. I'd totally play that. I know. This is very suspicious. This is very suspicious. As a matter of fact, it's so suspicious that we're gonna save because what? What do you mean? What do you mean? This just looks. Ah! Oh my God. Ah! Wow, okay. Wow, okay. You know what? Fuck it. Fuck y'all. Fuck these bodies. Boom. Y'all ain't seeing me. Y'all ain't seeing me. Oh! No. Stay your ass over there.
Here at twitch.tv/JoeBrandy, we get nothing but the wins, nothing but the wins, nothing but the motherfucking wins.
Period. Right, Laura! Folded Laura twice! I just ran for my life and prayed for the best. Listen, that's what I just did, and guess what? We're gonna save it right here. Y'all, we just got here. I thought Tomb Raider 2, the Great Wall level was a motherfucker for an opening level. But we just fucking got here and they already like, what? Go, Laura. I don't know. Oh! Oh God. Oh God. Okay. Hello? Ah! Okay. We're making it. Uh-uh. Come on. Look at his ass. They be so fucking thirsty. And we're saving it again. Okay. What door opened? Ah! Ah! What door opened? I don't even know where to go. I don't know. They're not shit for this. They're not shit. Right. They're not shit for this. I don't even know what. Ah!
Baby!
Oh, this door opened. Great. Ah! Oh, God. Nope. Oh, my God. Also, this door? Can we talk about this door being really fucking pretty, though?
You dealing with lions, bears, eagles, all types of shit. Shit that'll bite you. All types of shit. People stalking me, too.
People stalking me, too. It is. It's giving haunted house. Okay. Here we go. What was it? Future called the Atlantis on the walls. We got Atlantis on the walls. I know I didn't do all this just to come in here for some fucking ammo. We need Marcus clip of Laura, of Marcus saying no, like Laura with the British accent. I'm writing it down. I'm writing it down. I'm writing it down. Marcus says no, like Laura. Oh my God, I'm doing it. It's giving a mega sample. Yo, look at this shit. This shit is just pulsating on the wall. I just cannot. Did that really make me come over here for some ammo? Oh shit, my bad, Laura. Oh, there's another door over here. Damn! Y'all, what? I just got here and I need help. I just fucking got here, bro. The aha pickup from TR2. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Oh my God, yes. We need Marcus to say aha. Yes. Yes. I missed her little aha. I missed that. I missed the aha. Okay, I'm saving it right here. So I'm scared. Is that lava? I think so. I think it is lava. Oh God, oh God, oh God. We don't know where we're going. Oh God, Laura. Oh God, oh God, Laura! Laura, girl! Ah! The door is slamming on beat with the throbbing. It is, it is. Oh God, we did it again. I meant to jump forward. Laura! Laura, Denise. Oh God. Oh God. Okay. 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 Oh shit! Ah! No! Oh my God. What is wrong with this level, bro? Watching from London. Welcome in, Kimmy from London. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for coming through and staying up so late to watch. Oh my gosh. Y'all, what is up with this fucking level? We just got here. We just got here. You know what? At least they know they not shit. Because look, they giving us med kits everywhere. Right, Laura Denise Jenkins. Laura Denise. Right, health and a save. Oh God, there go another one. Stay your ass over there. Come on, Laura. Oh my God, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Oh my God. Oh my God, come on, Laura, to the side, to the side.
Come get your ass up. Get up.
Get up.
You dealing with lions, bears, eagles, all types of shit. Shit that'll bite you. All types of shit. People stalking me too.
Oh God. Wait, did I save? I don't even remember if I saved. Oh my God. Okay. So we need a lever. Y'all, this is madness. This level is madness. This level is madness. This is madness. Like, what? Okay. I bet you it's timed. I bet you it's timed. How am I supposed to get over there? How am I supposed to get over there? Oh my God. No! Fuck! Oh my God. Okay, you know what? Okay, so now we know that block opens that. It is. You know what? It is pretty. Wait, what did it look in the OG? Oh yeah, what a fucking upgrade. So this is the OG and this is the remastered. What an upgrade. Oh my gosh. This looks incredible. Oh my gosh, this looks incredible. I gotta be careful. Whenever I give this game a fucking compliment, they send some shit to kill me. They did. Oh man, I love Prince of Persia. Oh my gosh. Have you played the new one, JSR? Have you played the new Prince of Persia? I haven't played it yet. I love Prince of Persia, but yes, they are mad with the freaking platforming on that game. Like, it is pure madness with the platforming with that game. Aren't they so beautiful? Yes, right, with a glow up. You're playing through the old ones. I love Prince of Persia. That game is so good. So good. The old ones, I only played the old ones. Alone in the Dark? Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, come on, Laura. We need to... Oh, no. No! If you can get through Mirror's Edge, you can get through anything. Listen, that's how I feel about Prince of Persia. Because, like, Prince of Persia, that's how I feel about Prince of Persia. If I can make it through Prince of Persia, like... I've never played Mirror's Edge. Ooh, ooh. Oh, no. Okay, no. We need to figure out the cadence for getting over here. Maybe we jump from over here. Oh, no. Damn. Yes, Brad. I'm weak. Look, I'm always geek when I see black characters, okay, in video games. Y'all already know it. You already know what it is. You already know what it is. Come on, get your ass through this door, Laura Denise. What is this? Oh God, we trapped in here. We trapped in here. We trapped in here. We trapped in, y'all, I cannot with this fucking vibrating ass wall. Like, this shit is ridiculous. Oh man.
No.
That's what Laura's saying. I want to put some outfits on her though. I do want to put some outfits on her. Cause I really love the mods that people have been. Damn it. Back in the Atlantis. Is that an eyeball? So this is not an eyeball. It looks like it. You know what this is? These are the damn pods that the Atlanteans be in. So we are literally in fucking, you know what? It makes sense that this will be Atlantis. You know why? Because those are pods that's holding the damn Atlanteans. And they're not born yet. They're not born yet. So what? Like, we are literally in the fucking womb. A deep red catsuit would eat. Yes, it would. Uh-oh. Okay, I don't know how to get through this room. We just gonna figure it out. This room is doing a lot. This room is doing a lot right now. We in the coochie. We are in the coochie. It's true. It does. It looks like a swollen uterus. Hi, Jen. Welcome in. Capcom would make this room so disgusting. It would. Could you imagine this room in a Resident Evil game? Ah! Heal, Laura. Oh shit. No! I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry, Laura. Oh, we all the way back here. Right, Brad? This fucking throbbing is taking me out. No, seriously, this shit is really fucking throbbing. Like, hello? Like, the Atlantis is streaming hot. It is. It is. It is. It's steaming hot. Like the bug lady from RE7. Oh my god, yes. Oh god, the bug lady is awful. Ugh, the bug lady is awful. Oh my god, y'all, this is mad. This is wild. How many bullets are you gonna eat? Oh, another one? Oh my god. Yo, this is wild. This is actually wild. Where is he? Where'd he go? Oh. I'm so sorry to disturb you in the room, Mr. Atlantean, sir. I promise you, this is Laura's idea. I did not want to come in here. This is all her idea. This is her doing. Know what? She decided to come back. She said her business was not finished. I did not mean to disturb you in the room. Right? Oh, now why you didn't grab that, girl? It really is. Yes. Do you start this with all the guns? Do you have to find them? I found the shotgun. I cannot remember if I found them. Oh, yes. You have to find them. Yes. You have to find them. Yep. You have to find them. I started with pistols. I remember finding the shotgun and the magnums. Yes. And we're going to go magnum. No pun intended. No pun intended. We're going to go with the magnums. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm really trying hard, but I just cannot. I couldn't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. Oh God. Oh God. Like, that was too good. That was too good of a pun. That was too good of a pun. Like, Two better know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Right. They went over your head first. I'm sorry, like, This is exactly what's happening here. Like they literally, yeah, we're in the Atlantis Sea, and I'm very distracted. I'm very distracted. I'm very distracted right now. Oh God, am I stuck in here? Right, ain't here to play. Ah, Nate, please. No, I know them edges sticky. Oh my God, Nate, please. I cannot. Laura better be careful. Look, that's why I can't grab onto nothing. Everything is slip and slide in this motherfucker. That's exactly why. That's exactly why. I can't even I get Laura slipping and sliding. Nate! Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's a fucking slip and slide. Right. Atlanta's got that wop. Oh shit. Hold up. Hold the fuck up. What is this? What is this? Pop! I know the smell. Oh my God. I don't even want to think about what it smells like in here. Oh my God. Right. Not the Cardi B. This Attack on Titan DLC is lit. Okay, you know what, Pop? Okay, because I need to see. Because whenever I post clips of this stuff on TikTok, not that must be daddy, right? This the daddy right here. This must be daddy right here. He said, "I's the pappy." pH off the charts. Right, especially Laura ass walking around in here shooting bullets, shooting and shit. Laura, you throwing the pH balance off, sis. Musty cupboards and lips. It gotta. I don't even want to know. Lord, y'all are a mess. Y'all are a mess. Oh. Okay. Okay. Now, Laura, why can't we stand right here and shoot at him? Oh God, Laura. This is not gonna, what is, yo, this level is on crack. This level is on crack. Right, is this a fucking boss fight? He got a lot of holes to fill. Oh God. Right, these bitches are my sons. Shut up, JSR, please. Please. Now she's shooting the club up. I'm dead. Right, that's a booty hole, that meme girl. Wait a minute. No, for real. Oh my God. Oh my God. Laura, girl, you living on a prayer. We saving right here. Oh my God. Laura. Okay. Oh, there go the Uzis. Oh my God. Y'all have had me dying tonight. He wasn't the shit, not even the fight. Oh my God. Wait a minute. That shit had me crying. She put a whole no. Oh my God. Oh, we got an achievement. Get all the weapons in Atlantis levels. Okay. And we got the Uzis. I'm about to save it right here. Cause I feel like they gave us the Uzis. I feel like we about to be in for some shit. Yeah, let me pull these Uzis out. Hold on, wait. Here we go. Here we go. They up here moaning and shit. Oh God, oh God. I see them. I see them. I'm scared. I'm scared, y'all. I'm scared. Oh my God. Not the jelly bean. First of all, I'm concerned of whoever is doing that. Oh. Damn, wait a minute. Let me get out. Laura. Okay, we need to open this. We found a door. Now we need a lever. We don't know where it's at. We need some air, but I'm scared to come up, Laura. Fucking in the water, girl. They down here. Oh. Damn! Can I? Okay, Laura, we need air, girl. We need air. Here, let's go over here in the corner. It creeped me out too, Bacon. It creeps me out too. It used to scare me so bad when I was a kid. Ah! Ah, no! I'm dead, bro. Damn, you ain't gotta keep hitting me. Look at you. They so thirsty.
Bullets are expensive, Laura. Learn to aim.
Oh my God. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Oh my God. Damn. Oh my God. Okay, pull the Uzis out. Let's get the Uzis out. Hey, Cuz, welcome in. How are you? Look at that video for the culture. Okay. I'm gonna look. Now he's beating it up. Right, he making sure she did. Ah! Come on, Laura, tumble. Come on, we gonna dance circles. Come on, ring around the rosy, bitch. I'm saving it right here. Right? Doing all right, a bit tired. I'm doing all right. I'm just trying to make it through this fucking horror game. What's up, Unbox? Welcome in. How are you? Uh-oh. First of all, hold up. Not y'all over here standing here like a fucking choir and shit. They over here. Not them over here standing here lined up. Not they at they probate. Not they at they probate. Not they at they probate. Wait a minute. They about to drop a beat. Right, wait a minute. They are caked up. Oh my God. Oh my God. Atlantify Atlantean. Oh, also, y'all, you can move Laura now in photo mode. That was a part of the update. If I'm on PC, but I'm playing with a PlayStation controller, and if you hold R2 and L2, you can move her around with the analog stick. Not that groupsome, girl. Please. I'm sorry. Also, y'all, it's such a habit for me to just say girl. That's just like, I don't know, a part of Black women vernacular. Right, we just say call everybody girl when we telling the tea. Or in like a deep conversation. Yes, you can see the keys now. I'm so happy you can see the keys. Isn't it wonderful, Bacon? Because they was really tripping. I thought I was tripping when I first played it, and I was in freaking Tehoken or the Cistern. Everyone's right, bitch. This place is that meme. Not that claim they shot but busted through on both sides. Listen. Ah! Are y'all Y'all, okay, Laura, just don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Just don't move, Laura. Just don't move. Just don't move. Just don't move. Period, bitch. Y'all ain't seeing me. Y'all ain't seeing me. Let's go. Your mom said too at this point is gender neutral? Yes, because hey, let's go. Let's go. That went way better
Here
than
at
what I thought.
twitch.tv/Yo Brandy, we get nothing but the wins, nothing but the wins, nothing but the motherfucking wins.
Real hot girl shit.
Real hot girl shit. Nothing but the wins. Let's go. All right, what's down here? Oh, thank you. Look at all this Uzi ammo. Period. Hold on. I hear somebody fucking. Hold on. Uh-oh. Please don't let him bring his ass down here. Please. Do not bring your ass down here. Do not. Right, that damn snore. You know, at first, I didn't realize that they were trying to mimic a mummy sound when I was a kid. I didn't know why they were making that noise. Yes. I've been trying to... Oh. Okay, Laura, come on. Okay. They gonna take all my health packs, but I'ma live. And we're gonna save it every time. They do not fucking stop, Jen. They just keep popping up. I don't even know what the purpose of this area is. Wasn't it close? Like, damn. And they just keep on. Yo, this level is mad. This level is madness. Like, this level, like, what the hell? What, like... This level is madness. Okay, Laura, are we supposed to... Oh, shit, girl, please. Okay, that looks like too far of a jump. I do not think we're going to make that. I really don't think we're going to make that. That looks way too far. We can save it, though. Random voice. Yeah. Yes. I have voice mod on. Nope, I knew we weren't gonna make that. I knew we weren't gonna make that. Right, can we get a 5-minute intermission? I mean, they got everybody out here. Mama, daddy, cousin, auntie, grandma, sister-in-law, every damn body out here. Like, yeah, so I do. You just redeemed? Why didn't it tell me you redeemed it? Okay, yes. If y'all redeemed that, tell me that you redeemed it. Because for some reason, it's not telling me that you redeemed it. But, okay. Let's see. What do we do? We can do the hamster. Let's see if the hamster works. Hey, now, y'all gotta let me know if it's working. Y'all gotta let me know if it's working. Do I sound like a hamster? Oh shit, damn. I done killed Laura trying to mess with the damn voice mod. It's not working? Okay, hold on. Let me fix the mic.
Laura Croft, get your ass up. Get up!
Oh my god. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna have to switch it. I'm so sorry. Hi, Kat. Welcome in. Right, Laura. I'm sorry, Laura, girl. I'm so sorry, girlfriend.
Okay. Is that working now? Lord. Is it working now? Y'all gotta tell me. Because I turned it off so I couldn't hear myself. This is gonna be terrible. Okay, 5 minutes. You get 5 minutes of me talking like this. Oh my god. The first jump scare is gonna be funny. Oh my god. Oh my god. Y'all got me out here acting a fool. Okay, Laura girl. We done went to Mars? Not Mars. Oh my god. Okay. I don't even know what to do. I know we're looking for a lever. What's down here? Nothing. What am I supposed to do? Sandy mixed with SpongeBob mixed with alien? It's giving chipmunk. It's an alien. I cannot wait to listen to this. I cannot wait to play this back and listen. Let me hurry up before I damn kill Laura again. It's her ass. I'm up here playing and shit, and... the alien superstar Beyonce singing about, please! Unique? Okay, now I heard one of them motherfuckers running around here somewhere. And I don't even know where they at. I hear it, please. Okay, wait a minute. I hear it, y'all. Oh my god, look at his thirsty ass! Bro! Oh my god, Laura! What? Oh my god, now he's shooting meatballs! You dead, bitch! I don't care what's going on! Cuz, it's a lot happening, cuz. It's a lot happening right now. This game... This is for Rachel. What's that? This is for Rachel. What is that? Oh my god! Y'all. This is wild. This level. I gotta keep track of time. I think we got like 2 more minutes left. Why you got 2 doors? Unique! Why I gotta say that again? Cause I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen when I pull this fucking lever. Where are we? Oh my god, this does not look good. Unique! You know I love me some Beyonce. Hey! Okay, what? Y'all, what is this? What is this? What is this room? What is this room? Ah! What the fuck? What the fuck? Okay, we need help, girl. Come on. Oh my god. What the fuck is this? Ah, twins! Come on,
Okay. I'm back to normal. I'm back to normal. I'm back to normal. Oh my God. Yes, we have. Welcome in, Lex. It's very chaotic right now. We are trying to get through this, and I just don't even know what to say. Oh my God. Your neighbors? Oh my God, your poor neighbors. Oh my God. Oh my God. Do I redeem another one? Okay, so this is what happened. I added a redeem on the channel. Where people can redeem a voice mod. Well, one of the redemptions is for voice mod, and I have to pick a random voice and talk in it for 5 minutes. That's what you just walked into, Lex. So I was getting torn up by these damn Atlanteans, and that I forget what voice I had on. Oh yeah, to the side, girl. Come on, to the side. Woo! Oh my God. Oh my God. You out of points now? You don't gotta ask, right? Don't even ask. You redeemed it? Did you redeem it? Oh my God. You out of, not you being out of points. You redeemed it. Okay, I gotta pick another voice. Okay, this one is called Radio Demon. I don't know what. I don't know. We gonna go with it. We gonna go with it.
Now this one got a damn song with it. It's demon time, y'all. It's demon time. Welcome to twitch.tv/YoBrandy, where we are on demon time in the womb in the Atlantis. And we are just in here with the Atlanteans. Oh shit, who's that? Oh shit, who's that? Not Bayonetta. I don't know what the fuck any of these levers do. But at twitch.tv/YoBrandy, this is what we be on. Chop the screw raider. Not the narrator on Outlast. Oh fuck no. Oh shit. What the fuck? Oh my God. Is it? Don't want me to do another one?
Okay, what about this one? Okay, what about this one? This one is called Double. I don't remember what it is. What this is. I don't know. This is called Double. This one? Okay, this one. Oh my God. Oh God. To the side, girl, to the side. To the side. To the side. At the time we pull it back. You know what's funny about this is I have no idea what the hell y'all are hearing right now. Laura, you side better jump. Not taking over my demons. Oh my God. This is Doppelganger, Bran, and Laura reporting in. It's almost 3 in the morning. I need to switch the light off for this voice. Oh my God, this one's scary. Not serpent, there are loose. Oh my God, wait. I'm weak as fuck. Wait a minute, hold on. Cause they about to beat my ass as soon as I walk in here. And I gotta pull all these damn levers. And I fucking scared. I'm scared. Look at them. Look at them. We need help, bro. Oh my god. The voice that laughs at the end of Thriller but scarier. Oh my god. The alien Paris and Chicken Little. Oh my god. Who redeeming next, bro? That's it. Y'all gotta work together as a community. I see them. I should have saved it. Dad, why did I save it? I could not save it. Oh my god. Okay. Are we healed? Okay, we healed enough. Okay, God. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, this is how we gotta do this room. This is how we gotta do this room. See how many points we got? Okay, I'm saving it right here because we are now about to play this game. Oh, that's another one. Oh my god. Oh my god. Y'all can get on with that fucking moaning. Oh my god. Okay, so far, y'all really like the chipmunk voice. That seems to be y'all's favorite. This is really good chance, because then I can see which voices y'all really like, and I can make them, I'll make separate redeems for them. So you can, like, redeem the specific ones, because right now it's just random. Right now it's just random. I was trying to find, oh my gosh, I was trying to find one that was similar to Lara Croft, but the one I had on there do not sound like her. It's the best one. Chipmunk is the best. Okay, I got you. Okay, so we're gonna do a redeem specifically for Chipmunk. Lord, what the hell you doing? No, yes, just stand there. Oh shit, I need to heal. Oh my god. This filter makes it sound country as hell. Down there on the bayou, we're on the farm. We're down here in the Atlantis, see? Oh god. Oh my god, they're every fucking where. Jesus, man it. I'm gonna have to get my shot in. Well, happy Thursday. How many motherfuckers is that in? The screen with this filter sounds like rewriting a VHS manually. Oh my god. This ain't Texas. Ain't no more. Oh my god. Oh my god. What is it? What am I supposed to do in here? What is the purpose of this? Well, I don't see no levers. What's up? Yo. Okay, I think that win. Okay.
Okay, I'm back to normal. Oh my god, y'all. That's too damn bad. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. That's too damn bad. Oh my god. That's my shit. I love that. That's too damn bad. I need to add that as a sound, because that shit cracks me up. Okay, this shit better not be timed. I know that much. Laura Denise, you love being in timed ass shit. First of all, let's get some air. Oh my God, y'all got my, like, you know how you laugh so hard it feel like you just had a workout? That's how I feel. I feel like I just had a bomb ass workout from laughing at y'all in the damn chat. And I know y'all laughing because I don't even hear what y'all hearing. Cause I could make it so that I hear myself, but it throws me off too much. It throws me off too fucking much. I don't even know what y'all hearing. I can't wait to go back and watch the stream. I cannot wait. I'm gonna for sure put this on YouTube too. Uh-oh, did you just redeem, Brad? Oh, cost redeem? Oh gosh. Okay. Okay. What is this? Okay, this looks like it takes us back out here. Okay. Back to the chipmunk. Y'all want chipmunk? Okay, do y'all want chipmunk or do y'all want to try something else? I need y'all to let me know. I got something. It's a bunch on here. We got a trap one. We got a water one. We got there's a bunch of other ones on here. Y'all want chipmunk? Y'all want back to chipmunk? Let me know if y'all want back to the chipmunk or if you want a new one. The water one? We could try water. You can't see the rest of the options. Okay, Kos did. Okay, Kos got the redeem. Okay. You know what? Here, we'll do both. We'll start out with the water one and y'all can give me feedback on that. And then we'll go to chipmunk. Okay, we going water.
Okay, well, the water is on. We in the water, y'all. Laura ass down here swimming in shit with the fishies. In the God damn, this fucking water. This water is throwing me off. Oh my God. That shit is, cause I can't hear me, but I can hear the fucking water though. Oh my God, Laura, get your ass out this water, girl. Laura down here swimming in the Atlantis. Oh my God, I'm saving it. I want to do this. We in the water, y'all. It sounds like T-Pain. I'm sprung. How'd you get me? Got me doing things I never do, and you ain't there. I'm telling you, you do, you do, you do, you come get me. Well, how'd you get me? Leo! Hi, Leo! I sound like I'm goggling. I wanna buy you a drink. I'ma take you home with me. Money in the bank. Charlie, what you think about that? Got me in the gray Cadillac. We in the bed like, oh. We in the bed like, oh. Whoa. Talk to me. I talk bad. Let me talk to you. Oh my God. Jen, not you in the car. Wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute. Cause I got a thing. In my arms, in my mind, all the time I wanna treat you right by my side. And then I'm gonna hold you down, make sure everything is right with you. You can never go wrong. You let me hold you down like a real man's supposed to. I'm trying to show you the life of somebody like you should be living. Oh, baby, baby, you can never go wrong, and you let me hold you. That's my shit. Not giving T-Pain a run for his money. I did not know either, Brad. I thought he was saying ooh wee. I thought it was I wanna buy you a drink. Ooh wee. Hell no, it's in then. What the fuck? Oh my god. What are we doing, Laura? I'm lost. We pulled a bunch of levers. I don't know what. Oh wait, we gotta go back to the Atlantis room. That's where we gotta go back. We gotta go back to the Tootsie room. Booty work, booty work, booty work. That should be my shit too. Not a Victorian show. Oh my god, Tony, please. Oh my god. Yes, yes. Ooh wee. I thought it was ooh wee. Okay, y'all, I do not remember. Where the fuck is the Atlantis room? I done forgot. Where were we? Where were we? Where the fuck were we? In the Atlantis room. Okay, we tried the water.
We go back to y'all's favorite, because this is y'all shit. Y'all love this one. And I think it's hilarious. I don't even know what the hell y'all hearing. I don't know what the hell y'all hearing. Where is the Atlantis room? How do we even get in this room? I'm lost. Fucking lost. Okay, I gotta remember. Where were we? Where were we? Where was the Atlantis room? We opened the door. I remember we opened the fucking door. Yes, Tony. Future Dad Kemper, who's in chat, named it the Atlantis room. And that's where we got that from. That is where we got it from. You gotta climb up the thing in the middle. You talking about this? Oh, okay. I gotta climb it. Okay. The captain said Atlantis City. The captain said, ma'am. Oh my god. Oh my god. Atlantis! Stop, please! No, I can't with y'all. These are things that y'all came up with. These are things that y'all came up with. Wait, what happened to the, Y'all continue watching. I was wondering where my background music went. Cause we got the, Tomb Raider Legend soundtrack. Let me save it if I do something silly. Oh my god, y'all! Wait a minute, Brad! Real hot squirrel shit? I'm weak as fuck. Not real hot squirrel shit. Oh my god, real hot squirrel shit. Wait, I gotta, cause I'm about to sound clip this. Real hot squirrel shit. Oh my god! Okay, I think that's where we came in at. I feel like that's where we came in at. No, y'all play too much. Y'all play too much. Y'all play too much. pedestrians be saying. I gotta post it. I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna put it on TikTok. No, wait. The GTA pedestrians be saying some wild ass shit. Especially in GTA 3. And this one man, he walk past, he like, my love is my sister. That shit, he cracking me up like, bro, what? Oh my God, they just be saying anything. Oh my God. Not you just choke, please don't choke. Please be careful. What is this? What is this, honey? Save, what? No. What is this, honey? What is this? No, what? Nope, what? What? No. What is this, honey? What is this? Laura, girl, what is this? Offer some fucking shotgun bullets? This is the storm? Oh my God. Not that must be dirtier than New York City River? That clip of the pedestrian? No! What? Oh my God! It's giving trap. It is! Because why are we doing all this for shotgun bullets? What? Laura, can we find something else? Cause do we have to come in here? I need to look around. We need to scope out the scene, Miss Ma'am, Miss Croft. Oh my God, not in the DL's apartment. I cannot. Y'all, this about to be some bullshit. This is about to be some bullshit. Do I have to do this fucking room is the question. I'm saving it right the fuck here. Oh my God, do I got full health? No, I don't. I gotta save it again while I got full health. And how much ammo do we have? Okay. I have to do this? Not how are you not murdered, Tony? Okay. I'm scared. They about to beat my ass. There's too many. Oh my God. I'm scared. Okay. Let's take a run and jump. Okay, they're not after me yet. Not this view. Look, the Atlantis tussies is going off on the damn walls. They about to hit me from every angle. Why? For some shotgun clips? It ain't even that this serious in here. I'm scared. How do I get out of here? I don't want to be here. Oh my God. Not when the room look abandoned. was doing good right there. I thought I was doing good. No! Come on, Laura. Come on, Laura! Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Dealing with lions, bears, eagles, all types of shit. Shit that'll bite you. All types of shit. People stalking me too.
They're not dying. They're not dying. They're not dying. They're not dying. Oh my God. It's 60 million. Oh my God. I'm a pussy. Right? The fucking TR3. But I need that. Jump from every fucking angle. This that meme. The white girl still on the couch surrounded by all those men, but it's Lauren. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. Okay, we gotta think this through. We gotta strategize. Okay. Okay, if we just try to get them one at a time. One at a time. No. One at a time. Okay, I'm saving it because I killed one. I'm saving it. Oh my God. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. 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 Save it. Save it. Save it. Okay. We need to learn how are we alerting them. Yes, exactly. Treat this room like Donald please. Yes. Okay, Laura. Fuck. Fuck. Y'all, look at him. Is he lost? Is he lost? Does he not know where I'm at? Heal, save. Wait, homie was just sitting there like... Okay, do we have... Well, it looks like we only got 2 more. I don't know where he went though. Where is he? Got him. Okay. Save it again. Right, he said I'm new here. Okay. Where you at? Come on here. Come on out here. Let's go!
Okay. I'm back to normal. Ooh, y'all got me cracking up tonight. Y'all are a mess. Y'all are a mess tonight. Just so y'all know, this is basically Johannesburg Central Sidewalks. Oh my God. Not the Central Sidewalks. Oh my God. Okay, we got the ammo. I'm saving it again, so I ain't gotta keep picking this shit up. Right, he literally was like, it's my first day. Thank you. Thank you very much. Baby! Right, we did it, Joe. Felt like I was on a fun trip with shrooms. There's an achievement to finish this level in 5 minutes? Bullshit. Bull motherfucking shit. Oh my god. This hallway is pretty though. This is pretty. This is very pretty. Oh god. Haven't I suffered enough? Haven't I suffered enough? Oh my god. Of course, there's a lever. What did that do? Okay, there's two. You can stop in the hallway for a game of checkers. You know what? Fuck this. We out. I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. Come on, Laura. Let's just go. Go, Laura. Come on. I don't even know what's... Oh! 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 Not designer-y. If y'all are not familiar with that, that is what it's from the soundtrack for Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It's giving Queen of the Damned. Uh-oh. Okay. Y'all, what? This is ridiculous. I don't understand. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. What happened? It burst, but nothing came out. Let me heal. Take your DLC and leave me alone. That's exactly what they said. Cause this is madness. This is madness, like pure madness. What is this level? And what I'm trying to understand is what is the business that Laura is trying to finish? Not them shooting blanks. When the eggs do the chicken wings. Yes, you know you're in trouble. Yes, the chicken wing did. Oh god. I'm scared. Of course it's time. Of course it's fucking time. Of course. And now all these fucking pies are doing a chicken wing dance. This is madness. Go, Laura. Oh, what? What is this? Ah! What happened? I'm confused. The business she's trying to fish is pure thrill and fun. Yet, wow, that's the end of the level. Wow, that's petty. Oh, we made it to Egypt. Jesus. I don't know. I didn't see nothing come out the big egg. Okay, we finished the unfinished business level. So what the fuck? What are we doing now? This is the fun part? Okay. Yeah, what kind of ending was that? I'm not understanding. What kind, like, why? What? Oh, are we in the city of Kamoon? Oh! Whoa! Get your ass on. Get your ass on. Get your ass on! Oh my God. Oh, look at the city of Kamoon. I love this level. I love this level. That's what I'm thinking, Chozo. the eggs just party poppers? Because I didn't even see anything come out of them. I didn't see anything. I looked up, I looked around, I didn't hear anything moaning and groaning and flapping. Oh my God. Enough with the fucking gators. Leave me alone. She pulled the self-destruct levers. Oh, is that what happened? Oh my God. Right, dinner has been served. He snuck up so fast. Ugh. Okay, what is our health like? Okay, I'm about to save it. I don't want to deal with the gators again. Okay, return to Egypt. That's where we are. Return to Egypt. Okay. I feel better now. I feel better now. I feel stronger. I need to add that. The AOD stuff. I need to add the stuff Laura be saying on AOD. I feel stronger. I'm gonna add some sound commands too that aren't connected to the channel points too. I have not eaten crocodile before. You like it? What is it like? Can you compare it to like a common meat that like we probably had, like chicken or beef, steak? Is it sweet? You know, what is it? Is it sweet? Is it bitter? Would you recommend it? All your weapons are gone? Oh my God, are you serious? Why did they take all my levers? Why did they do that? Why did they take all my weapons? I worked hard for my weapons, bro. And why is Egypt flooded? What happened? Hell yeah, Retro. I would absolutely play Angel of Darkness on stream. I love Angel of Darkness. I actually streamed Angel of Darkness before. Like this was some years back. Like this was like maybe like this was, I think it was pre-pandemic. I streamed Angel of Darkness on my channel. So I would totally do it again because I love AOD. It is like my favorite, one of my favorites. I love me some AOD. So hell yeah. Rubber chicken, but meteor. Oh, you serve it with passion fruit. Okay, I love passion fruit. Okay, so look, is this was just for items, I think. I'm assuming. I don't see anywhere else to go. Okay. And we can't get up there. Alright, so I think this is just for items. Right, why does she keep losing her stuff? Girl, right! Like, girl, what are you doing, Laura? Where's your stuff? White people happen to open something that they weren't supposed to open. Now, you know how many times that has happened in history. Laura proves that. She literally, what, Tomb Raider 4 started the damn apocalypse because she was opening some shit she ain't had no business opening, and then look what happened. She released the damn released set into the fucking release set and caused the fucking, oh my God, this fool don't leave me alone. Tomb Raider got hindsight because they did find water canals and some tombs in Egypt. They did. It's so good to revisit this level. Laura don't know how to sit on her hands. She really don't. She doesn't. She don't. Okay. So this is like completely... Okay, what I want to know, oh my God, I just love, like, City of Khamun and Obelisk of Khamun are my favorite levels in Tomb Raider 1. And I think probably Great Pyramid too. Or Atlantis. I love those levels. But definitely Obelisk and City of Kamoon. I love these levels. They are so gorgeous to me. Colonizing intensifies. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Two? Not two of them! Ah! St. Francis Folly? Oh, yes. St. Francis Folly is so good. And Palace of Midas? Yes. Midas is really good too. Like, honestly, like, the levels in Tomb Raider 1 are great. Like, I love, even though, like, yes, we've seen the Tomb Raider games. The Black Panther! The Black Panther. Oh. Oh my God. And all I got is pistols. Laura, are you gonna shoot? Oh, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. You love Tumati Hoken? You know what? I like Tumati Hoken. I feel like a lot of people don't like Cistern. But I think Cistern can be a very frustrating level, but I think it's beautiful. Oh my God, die! First timer and loving the stream. Thank you so much. Welcome in, Tribal. Welcome on in. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. It's a good vibe here. We be chilling. We're chaotic good over here. Are there panthers in Egypt? You know what? That's a great fucking question. Because I don't even know. I really don't know. That's a great question. Oh, I love the panther footsteps. Footprints. So cute. You mean Cistern. You like Cistern. Yes, Cistern is not bad. Future said fuck the Cistern. There's a reason there's panthers. Foreshadowing to the next level. Got you. Okay. Okay. Got you. First of all, wait. Wait a minute. It can be panthers here, right? Why is he up here? How did you get your panther ass up here? How did you get up here, sir? I just want to know. Like, how the fuck did this panther get up here? And up here too. It's two of them. There's no other excuse but the devs just trying to troll. Cause there's no way that panthers are up here. There's no way. He's a cat. They always in places they shouldn't be. You right. Everybody wants to be a cat because a cat's the only cat who knows where it's at. Don't play with me because I love the Aristocats. Oh shit! I shouldn't have jumped down here. Right. I love somebody get the Aristocats from down there. I love the Aristocats so much. One of my favorite movies. It's like a feel-good movie for me. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so is this like symbolizing, I can't remember if it's an Egyptian god, but Bastet? Y'all are familiar with Bastet? I always wanted to get up in a really green area with a tree, but can't do it. I wonder how to get up there. It's one of your faves too. I love that movie. Yeah, Bastet. Okay. Yes, the goddess of cats. Yes. Yes. Oh, another gator. Later, gator. Don't run. Don't swim away now. Also, this is maybe really weird, but I think the coloring of the blood is so pretty. When you shoot the alligators in there. Okay. We need to get over there because I don't think there's any other way. Yep, the theme is kitties. Yes. Yes. The next level's name is so cute. I can't wait to get there. I did see, I kind of not spoiled it too much, but I did watch, I think I was watching Risser play this, and it wasn't this level, but she was in another level, and it was so gorgeous. Yeah, it's a cool pinkish red. Not threatening at all. Oh, good. We got us a lever. Come on, Laura. Get this lever, girl. I'm surprised they ain't have dog-sized scorpions. Oh, my God. I would have cried. I would have cried. Because let me tell you something. I seen the scorpions at the end of Tomb Raider 4. And I hate them. Been away from your cat for over a month. Got back yesterday and she ignored you all day because she was angry. Yep. Sounds like a cat. Peak cat behavior. They be upset. They be upset. Some scorpions would have been amazing. Man. You know what? I can't lie. It would have been nice. It would have been nice. Okay. What? Okay, Laura, how we get out of here? Is all of these slippery? Do I need to do one of those slippery backflip things? The cat said, "Get away from me." He did. She was loving again around dinner time. Yeah, she had to. She was upset, and she had to let you know that she was upset. So she's gonna give you the cold shoulder first before she started being loving again. Peak cat behavior. I grew up with cats. Oh shit. I love cats. They are some of my favorite animals. I love cats. Okay, this looks like bad news. This looks like some shit is gonna pop out. But this is also really fucking gorgeous. Look at how pretty this is. Yes, I do have pets. I have a dog. I just have a dog. I want a cat though. I would love a cat friend for her. But Marcus has a slight cat allergy. But so we're just trying to figure that out. But I was just talking about how I love cats, and this fucking panther just booty bumped me into my death. Your cat is that way? Your boy cat acts like a Chad, and girl cat is a diva? I love that. I love that, Tribal. Halle Berry Catwoman. First of all, I love that. I love Halle Berry Catwoman. I love Halle Berry Catwoman. Love that movie. Right, let me give you a little push of confidence. He literally booty bumped me. That was peak cat behavior. Peak cat behavior. Your cat is a senior but still got energy to be petty.
Did somebody say cats?
Marcus. Oh my God! Did y'all hear that? You sound just like a cat. Uh-oh. Oh, sorry, Laura. Oh my God. Yes, same, Brad. Yes, it's a top tier comic book movie. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Marcus. Oh my God. Y'all know Marcus is gonna pop up with the sounds. He gonna come in with the sound effects. He's going to serve us sound effects. Marcus could do Cat in the Hat. Yes. Oh, no, Daffy Duck when he mad. It do sound like Daffy. Oh my God. I love Daffy Duck. I love all of that shit. I love cartoons. I'm a big cartoon head. Like, I still watch cartoons. I watch Scooby-Doo, all that shit. Ooh. Sorry about the screen shake, y'all. That was awkward. You're Goofy, he's Daffy Duck. Oh my God. That Goofy noise. I really did sound like Goofy. And that is hilarious. I really was not trying to. I was just celebrating that I made it out that damn room. Oh God, this looks bad. Oh God, this is woo. They know they love spikes in this DLC. The Mickey Mouse series is objectively good. Did y'all ever watch the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse? Not Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, but like was it the Mickey Mouse? It used to come on at midnight. But it was with Mickey and the kids and stuff. I can't remember what it was called. Okay, this is a secret. What's up, Magic? Welcome in. How are you? Thanks for coming by. Oh my God, y'all crack me up. Tonight was definitely on one. Okay, so we can't go through this door, I guess. Okay. Oh, okay, I guess we can. When you step on a certain tile. Okay, this is that door. Okay, got you. This is that door. Let's save it here. We'll ever do more than one stream a week. We love some Brandy streams. I definitely want to. Yes. Okay, we made it. Yes, I want to do. I'm just trying to figure out what the next day would be. I know I'm about to run into some bullshit. Laura, heal up, girl. This looks like some silly shit. Please don't tell me the statues come alive. And Laura can't crawl in this yet. Fridays and weekends. Yes, that's if I do add another day, it's probably gonna be a weekend just because my weekdays and nights are like a lot. So it'll probably be a weekend, but also like, and it'll probably be earlier in the day on the weekend too. I'm just trying to figure out, because I know like on weekends I do like to I work from home, so I like to make sure that on weekends I have to really prioritize doing things. Oh, now how come he ain't getting hurt? Now how come he running through running through the spikes unharmed? Oh, they are? Now why you tell me that, Nate? I got hurt. Now why you do that, Nate? I ain't listening to Nate no more. What was I saying? Oh yeah. Right, ban. But yeah, I do want to add another day. So it'll probably be maybe like Fridays. I like Fridays. Fridays are good. Cause Saturday and Sunday I usually like to do things outside of the house. And like take a much needed like screen break. And I when I do stay in, I record my YouTube videos on the weekends too. So it'll probably be like a Friday. Yes, TGIF streams. And I also want to, I would like to add like a earlier in the day stream, especially because I know a lot of you are in different time zones. There's quite a bit of you all over the world, which I just love so much and appreciate. So I just love having so many people in the chat from all over the place. That really makes me so happy. Can we push this? Okay. And so I want to like consider that too, the time difference, and like do some streams earlier in the day so that more so it's not so late for you guys. So yes, we shall see. I may move around my Thursdays and maybe might do like maybe Monday, Friday or something. Around feeling your vibe. I'm glad y'all are feeling the vibe. That makes me very pleased. Uh-oh, I see a key. Miss Girl. Oh. No, Laura. No. Get up here. Okay. There we go. Ooh, there are a lot of big cats. Gotta go wash some dishes. All right, Brad. Take care. Thanks for coming through. Good night. I will see you next time. Okay. Lord. Come on. Come on out of there. Come on out of there. Oh, come on. There we go. Yes. Okay, let's see. Oh, look at this cool looking bridge. I want to do the bridge. I want to get on that bridge. How do we get over there? Can we climb up there? Oh, do we need to take a run and jump from here over there? Let me save it, because Laura likes to miss her jumps. Save. So Nate, I saw you were getting your street. What am I saying? Speed run. I'm trying to say stream and speed at the same time. Your speed run strats now. Are you gonna start doing some glitch speed runs? This room is really nice. We're looking. Oh yes, I love how these kind of rooms look in the OG. I love how these look in the OG. I think that looks so pretty. You want to speed run TR1? Yes, do it. Do it. TR1 is really good, like place to speed run, to start speed running. Mainly learn the TR2 strats because I hate so many of the first couple levels. I feel it. Yes, they are all over the wall, aren't they, Tony? Yeah, TR1, that's what I'm doing speed runs for, is TR1. But then I'm gonna shift over to Tomb Raider 3. Because I want Tomb Raider 3 to be my main speed run game. But like Tomb Raider 1, I love Tomb Raider 1 so much. Like, it's just where it all started. And it's just, Tomb Raider 1 is a really good game. Like, it plays well. It plays well, and like, you can figure out how to get through Tomb Raider 1. Oh! No! Okay, we didn't fall that down. We didn't fall down that much. Do glitchless for sure. Maybe glitches at some point. Yes. Yes! I've seen, I would love to race. Racing is fun. I've seen, oh wait, we can't drop down off of this? Oh, damn. Oh, we gotta come over here. I've been to a couple streams where people were racing, And it looks so fun. It looks so fun. TR1 vibe is unmatched. It is. Like, none of the other Tomb... Like, I feel like there are other Tomb Raider games that have similar vibes to each other, but none of them have the vibe of Tomb Raider 1. Like, Tomb Raider 1 just... I don't know. It just hits. I love the Tomb Raider community. It's very much alive. Brings you back to the 90s when you used to play it. Yes, 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 yes. And you know, I didn't even know how vibrant the Tomb Raider community was until I got on Twitch. I had never like really been in the community like that until I came on Twitch and I started seeing. I didn't even know people were speed running Tomb Raider until I got on Twitch. It's just opened up so much, like such a... Oh, this is lovely. This is very lovely. This is very lovely. And you know I love a good photo op. You know I love a good photo op. Yes. Yes. Yes, Laura. Yes, we would definitely kill it. Yeah, the Tomb and AOD has a similar vibe. Yes, it does. One thing I learned about Tomb Raider is a massive queer following. It does. It does. And you know what, Tribal? I did not know that either. I had no idea. But it's been like, it's been very refreshing to see. Did I save it? Wait, I don't need to save it. We're taking pictures. But yeah, it's been very refreshing. Like, honestly. Okay, I want her to... Look at Laura. Yes, get your pose on, girl. Get your pose on. But yeah, it's been very refreshing. I'm so glad they let you move her now. And they fixed her arms. Look, y'all, they fixed her arms with the arms folded. They fixed her arms so it don't look as awkward. Yes, Laura, look at her. Yes. We love a baddie. Yes, yes, we do. And it was disappointing. Oh, nar. Oh, nar, Tony. I feel like most of the people I do watch are either... Most of the people I watch are either queer or of color or both. It does. Doesn't it look very sexy? Oh, and let her pet the cat. Oh, yes. Let's do that. Let me do this without fucking falling. Come on, Laura. 2-step. Because you know you. You know you. You know you. Okay. Yes. Yes. Oh, this is so cute. She hitting that Sierra. Look how cute this is. Look. Why does she have such a big queer following? You know, I don't know. That's, you know what? I love to research. Female protagonist? Yeah, that could be a good reason. We gays love a female lead. Is this the end of the level? Now what? Now why? 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 Just, what is the reason for all of this tumbling? What is the reason for all of this? I wanted to be Laura and didn't have friends as a kid. I love me some Laura. I was the only child growing up. So like I had to have a very big imagination. And doesn't it look so cool? I had to have a very big imagination. Okay. And Laura did that. Laura took me on her adventures with her. and it just fed my imagination. And you know, I just, oh, we can shoot them through the gate. Oh, perfect. Thanks, devs. Yeah, she took me with her on her adventures, and like, you know, yeah, she was my friend and shit. You know what I'm saying? Different reasons that most. Ooh, are you shooting? Okay. Enjoy a character who is unafraid and unapologetically, goodness, sexy and independent. Yes, I jumped from my dress. Nate. Nate, that is so cute and funny. Queers love a good sex icon that can kick ass. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. 1,000%. 1,000%. That woman empowerment, you know what I'm saying? And she had like sex appeal, and she was just everything. She was smart. She didn't take no shit from nobody. You know, that's why I loved her. And she's not all like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, she's not all like, you know? I don't even know what that means, but I hope that conveyed what I was trying to say. Sonic games and Star Fox. I ain't play about Crystal and Rogue. They was your sisters. Yes, JSR. Right, we do need her back. Want to be her so bad. The whiny Laura do gotta go. Yeah. Oh shit. I knew it. I should have fucking known. There we go. Haha. Why? How did he literally bit the heel of my foot and caused damage. Let me heal up. Like, in what way? Look, and you know what? They do. But then a lot of them also, yeah, they do love a good female lead. But then I think what trips them up is like, yes, that's what I was gonna say, JSR. Like, we love her because of, like, you know, she's an icon. She has sex appeal, of course. You know what I'm saying? But then when you look at how Laura was marketed to like straight men in the 90s and shit, like, it was very much, you could like win a date with her. It was gross. Like, you know? Yeah, they mention her assets first. And that is the part that really, you know what I'm saying? Because she's more than that. She's more than that. And I love the duality of Lara Croft. Like, she's in these tombs. I know I be talking shit, but like, she's in these tombs with, you know, she's still in, like, very strong in her femininity, but she's also very strong as like a character, and like her being able to fight and being able, oh god, you shoot all these guns and travel and like do all of this stuff. I just love that about her. I love that duality about her, that you can be both. Because I think a lot of people they put like these expectations on women that you can't be either or. Like, you can't be sexy and a gamer. You can't be sexy and like anime. You can't be sexy and be Lara Croft or be, you know what I'm saying? And that's just not true. You can be sexy and also be very smart and be very badass. Oh shit. Ah, no! Oh god. God. I don't know how people would do this in no lows, no meds. Oh, let me catch up on chat. Yes, her personality and style. Uh-oh, did the music? Okay, it's switching to another playlist in the queue. I think. Computer, what's going on? Oh God, what is my computer doing? There we go. All right, let me catch up on chat. And fix the music. Yes, I'm still watching. Now we got the AOD soundtrack playing because I love me some AOD. I can never identify with icons straight men enjoy. Most are macho husky dudes that act aggressive all the time. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We think TR would hit the success it has without the 90s campaign. I hate them, but I feel like they played a big part of her success. That's, you know, yes and no. I don't know. Like, it sucks to say that it might not have had the same success because the reason behind it is gross. Bayonetta and Laura Cousins. Nathan Drake. See, I never got into Uncharted. I only played one Uncharted game, and that was the one with the two female leads that they came out with. Can multitask and be flawless like a beauty queen. Exactly. I was gifted TR1 for Christmas. Atlantis of Resident Evil because, well, this game has, instead of Resident Evil, this game has a girl pointing to her grandparents in your hood. Yes, you can be sexy and smart and be badass. Yep, look at me. Exactly, Tony. See? Sexuality should be celebrated, and I hate today's times that shame women who are openly sexy or sexual. Yes, exactly. It do hit different, Retro. Yes, it does. Is it loud? Yes. Why is it so loud? Hold on. I don't know why it's so loud. It's not even turned up in freaking on YouTube. It's like all the way down. That's weird. Let me know if it's still too loud. I feel like the game would be successful regardless or without those ads. I don't think she would have hit pop culture icon. Yeah. Yeah, I can agree with that, Nate. Music loud, like I'm there right now. Oh my gosh, is it better now? Okay. My bad, Tribal. I don't know why that was so loud. Like, damn. It's better now. Okay, good. Yeah, no, I was just reading through chat. I was saying that, oh, and that's one of the reasons why I love Megan Thee Stallion, because she literally is living proof. Like, you can be sexy and be confident in your sexuality, all of that, and still dominate the rap game, and still, you know what I'm saying? Like, still dominate the rap game, still do all of these amazing things, still like she's a rapper, a gamer, and she loves anime, and she's sexy as fuck. Like, I love that. And especially as a black woman, because black women are already like hypersexualized anyway. Like, and we do not like the shit that black women go through. It's exhausting. When you think about like misogynoir and stuff like that, it's just, ugh. She's a goddess, yes. Me too. I love her down. I love her down. I love me some Meg. Love her down. Love her. Oops.
Real hot girl shit.
Real hot girl shit. I know the general community doesn't like Modern Laura, but I want to defend here. She has some icon status with her bow now and is getting more confident. After all, it's a prequel. Yeah, I don't hate Modern Laura. I don't hate her. Like, I prefer classic Laura, of course. But I don't hate Modern Laura. She annoys me from time to time. With how, like, just how they make her, like how they made her, like she, like the emotional part of it, because it's not what I was used to. But you know what I'm saying, like, even checking myself here, like we always talk about how strong Laura is and stuff like that, but you know, this also, what she went through, what she went through in survival era was also iconic. Like it's still, you know what I'm saying? Like it's still very necessary. And it's another side of her that we get to see. And so, you know, I still want to appreciate that. Yes, I love how unapologetic Meg is too. Love her. I feel like they kept stunning her growth. She showed a lot of growth in 2013. If they kept delaying it. IG Live Meg did, and we both had the same Goku hoodie. Oh yes. I don't understand why it's taking 3 main title games to get confident. By the end of Shadows, she's still not there. He said politically correct. What you mean, Tribal? Waiting for the gaming industry to catch up and finally give us more black and brown characters as leads, and not just story game. Yes, JSR. I was talking about. I think I made a LinkedIn post about this, and I was saying how I want a game with a black woman protagonist that. I want a game with a black woman protagonist that has some longevity in it. So not like a one-off game, not, you know, not as a side character or an afterthought, or, you know what I'm saying? Like I want, you know how we have Lara Croft, and like how Lara has all of these sequels and prequels and this, that, and the third. I want a game like that. I want a developed character. Like I want good character development. This is some bullshit. That's some bullshit. That was some bullshit. Me too. Angelina did great as Laura. Shadow Laura's already confident. Now with the sequel coming up, I think she'll be closer to the classic. Yeah, I agree. Took too long with 3 games. I want to see. Oh, okay. On how they're changing Laura's personality with modern Laura. Yeah. Okay. I want to see confident classic Laura come back and explore tunes and forgotten lands. Yes. And I was saying too that I want them to get more into like mythology and like, you know, bring back that quirky stuff, like how we got to see Nessie and shit. I love that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I also kind of miss the isolated tomb experience. Like, you know, less cinematic and more gameplay, you know? I feel like the last game I played with the Black Lead was James Heller in Prototype 2. Shiva from RE5. Yes. Yes for Shiva. Okay, we're not about to play this game. You know what? We are about to play this game. This is what I'm about to do. There we go. Nah. But yeah, I want more. Not them sending 2 boulders. Yeah, I want like a fleshed out game, like character development, storylines, and like all of that. You know? I want that. Back for a bit. Welcome back, Brad. Yes, no more action set. Yeah, like I don't mind the action. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind it, but I do want more of like this kind of experience. You know, and bringing back like her iconic deaths, you know, getting rolled over by a boulder. Bring that shit back. Storm from X-Men was done in the 90s. Yes, she alone could be made. Yes. And I hate how they did Storm. Like, I loved her in the 90s, but she deserves so much better. Like, she deserves so much better. And Storm really deserved more. She just deserved more. Like, She deserved more. The movie, I love Halle Berry down, but casting could have been better there, I feel like. Yeah, the cheerleader pose. Yes, cheerleader pose. Yes, we want it back. This also is very beautiful. This area. Right, it's Tomb Raider, not Uncharted. They've been doing Storm Surge. So yes. Yes, that's a dark-skinned black woman. Why is yes, exactly. And I hated that. And that really touched on like just the problem with colorism in Hollywood and shit. Like literally in like the erasure of like Storm being a dark-skinned black woman. Like what? And like I said, don't get me wrong. Oh. Ah! Not two. I'm about to reload because I don't know. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Them giving Halle Berry that role when there was other actresses that could have played Storm. She deserved a director that isn't a pedo. Speak on it. They be nerfing the hell out of her powers. Yes, she's okay. Then the other actress, child. Oh man, Angela. Oh my God. Angela could, yes. Angela really, and I still don't understand why Angela wasn't Storm. She was perfect for Storm. Like, this is a beautiful picture. Yeah, she's a weather goddess. Like, she's literally. Oh God. I hate that. I hope that she gets some justice in the future. She deserves it. She deserves it so bad. Oh, wow. Y'all, look at this. Look at this. Oh, I'm ready to go outside. Come on, Laura. Let's go outside. I want to go outside. How we get out there? Also, this AOD music that's playing right now is really fitting so perfect. Ooh. Storm was supposed to be in Black Panther 2. Due to multiple things in chat. She was supposed to be his love interest. Oh. Chadwick, man. I miss him. Gone way too fucking soon. And fuck cancer. To be completely honest. Oh shit. Sorry, Laura. But yeah, fuck cancer. Like seriously, fuck cancer. Isn't it? Anna Diop might play Storm? Yes. Every time she was given the spotlight in the 90s, she ate up her time. Yes. She can lead. Yes, she can. Very trustworthy. Just a great character. Period. X-Men Red Storm was done so well in that comic run. Ah, listen. Let's not even talk. Black coded characters. Yes. Listen. I love a good black coded character. I really do. I love a good black coded character. Okay, we need to go in here. First time I played this level, I was too high. Somehow I wound up outside and died and got a G. Future! I love that. A gay lead at some point too? Yeah, absolutely. Listen. Now, I forgot these fucking things is down here. Yes, a gay lead. You know who else? Indigenous lead. I would love to see an indigenous character. You know, non-binary characters. Just more representation, period. And not as side thoughts, not as afterthoughts, but like, no, the lead. You know what I'm saying? You're not spoiling it. I'm never gonna play Final Fantasy. Yes, more representation. Oh, okay. They just gonna keep throwing everything at me. Wow. Yeah, like that's me, Nate. It's just not my game. Like, and I love that so many people love Final Fantasy, but it's just not my game. I know it seems like a really good game, but it's just not. I've watched people play it, and you know how some games just are not. It's just not for me. Not for me. It looks great, and I love that there's a huge fan base. Not them. Look at them. They said Laura for fucking dinner. But yeah, it's just, and I can respect it. It's just, it's just not for me. Right. Panther heard more representation. Say, here I am. These panthers are hard to kill too. Jeez. That death was incredible. It really was. It's too long. 2000s Gay Club coded. Yes. It's definitely giving like house. Oh. See, they play too much. They play too fucking much. But you know what? Like, and it's I don't know if y'all listen to house music, but I love house music. But like, people forget about like the influence that like the queer community had on like house music, techno. You know what I'm saying? And like some of the greatest artists in house music are queer. So. Oh my God, I'm sick of them. Yeah, ballroom, exactly. Ballroom, yes, exactly. I'm between two worlds at the moment, and Fran got you Final Fantasy Rebirth, but you're still on Tomb Raider, and I'm John hunting. What the fuck? Oh yeah, you got a lot going on, buddy. Oh my God. Bro, this area. What track is this? This is from Angel of Darkness. Oh, let me see if it lists it. Elena from Street Fighter with her African culture vibes. Yes. Hold on. Wait. This is Le Serpent Rouge. It's the track from Le Serpent Rouge. Need to bring back fun house, drum and bass tracks in games. Yes. It opened up everyone to legends who paved the way. Yes, shout out to Beyonce for that. Yes, I love what she did with Renaissance, and now she's about to open up people to the legends that are country music, like from country music. People forget that like country music is created by black folks, like Ray Charles. Like, what are y'all playing? What are y'all saying? Like, that's literally where that came from. And people about to learn the history of like how like black people creating country music. Shit, rock and roll too. It's the club level where you climb. Yep, Le Serpent Rouge. Non-cis and non-white folks did so much for queer rights in South Africa. USA as well. Yes. We feeling the power of Beyonce. Yes. Me too. I'm excited for her album. And especially because people are the rage that it's caused from people. Yeah, that impact. Yep. Helping new black country artist streams. Yes. Oh my God, Brad, I'm praying that Act 3 is rock. I'm praying that Act 3 is rock and roll. I'm really praying. that Act 3 is rock and roll. I am praying. I'm really hoping. No, what? Bro, what? Bro, please. I've had enough of these fucking Panthers. They take so much damage. Yes, yes, he stole his stuff from a black singer. Yes, it was. I forgot what her name is. I forgot what her name is. It's not Ma Rainey, is it? Is it Ma Rainey? No, I think Ma Rainey was blues. What? I can't remember, but yes, it was. I feel like it was. Hold on, let me go. Let me catch up. Yeah, Nate. He literally stole his stuff from a black artist. Yes, he did. Which a lot of white artists did that when it came to country, rock and roll, blues. Like a lot of that stuff was stolen from black artists because black artists didn't have like the platform and stuff back then. The Panther says you're right. Listen, yes, don't hurt yourself. I was just about to say. Who the fuck are you talking about? Listen. Said, who the fuck do you think I am? I'm like, yes, tell him, B. Oh man, I love Don't Hurt Yourself. He was a pedophile. And he died on the toilet. That's what his ass get. Listen, they doing the most. Yeah. Yeah, she ate, didn't she? You ain't messing with no average bitch, boy. Yes. Ugh. Yes. He died on the toilet. Beautiful man, I know you lying. You about to get me high. You about to get me high. Oh, man. No, Twitter had me dying. Listen. That's what his ass get for being a thief and messing with underage girls. Play shitty games, win shitty prizes. Trump gloating that he looks like him. Oh, God. Yes, yeah, yes, because I want to say, yeah, he was like really fucking, this might be TMI, but yeah, he was really full of shit. literally. Oh, God, we only got pistols. Oh, God. Laura, run, Laura. Run, Laura, run. They are not shit for that. They are not shit for that. But I still have never watched Lemonade at all. Only the music videos she uploaded to YouTube. Lemonade is so good. Oh, Lemonade. Lemonade is so fucking good. Oh my God. How the fuck am I supposed to get these motherfuckers? Oh, that's nasty. Cleveland? Run across the bridge past them? Are you sure, Nate? Because last time you told me the spikes wasn't going to hurt me. It's too much going on. Need some lemonade now? Yes. Oh my God. I can't run. Oh God. Oh my God. Oh my God. And it's a fucking crocodile in here. I fell in the water, y'all. Oh my God. See, right. Nate about to get put in timeout. Nate about to get put in timeout. Laura. Okay. Okay, Nate. You right. Okay. You was right. 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 Okay, what is the name of this? You was right. No, Nate. In our defense, you wrote this on yourself. Okay, Temple of the Cat. Okay. Did black people invent ice cream? I actually do not know. I cannot remember. But I know it was a black woman who invented GPS and the stoplight. Okay, sorry, Nate. Help me finish the damn DLC. Jay-Z So Lucky B didn't release Sorry. Oh, I love the original demo. Oh my God, I love the original of Sorry. I love it. And peanut butter, yes. And peanut butter, yes. I remember learning about the peanut butter in grade school. Ooh, ammo. Wait, hold on. One of y'all said something, and I meant to say. This your favorite level? I forgot. I don't remember what I was talking about. I was about to say something, and I forgot what the hell it was. Peanut butter sounds good right now, though. Okay, Lord, how come we can't shoot them through there? Responsible for peanut. You said Jay a pedo too? Oh Lord. Oh, now what? Why they unleash him? Why they open that gate? Oh God. I'm about to save it in case his ass come alive. Oh! Yeah, stay your ass in there. I know. Yeah, he did. He did. I know that's like been a hot topic, especially around like grooming and shit. Yikes. Are you talking about the Are you talking about the director guy? Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, Dan something. Yes, Dan Schneider. Yes. Oh wow, look at this. This is gorgeous. We talk about all kind of things. Get up there, Laura! Get up there! Laura got range, okay? Okay, thank you, devs. Y'all, look at the devs giving us a hint. Look at the devs. They was waiting for us at the door. Look at the devs giving us a hint. Making Laura look at them boulders. Okay. Thank you, devs, for warning me that y'all was about to put me through hell again. Oh, Nick, they were suspicious? Yes. Yeah, I'm glad Cassie also spoke up, too. I'm glad she did. Because that was... I can't even imagine the things that she's gone through, how difficult that must have been to like, you know, speak out on. But yeah, we get a little serious at times on the stream. But shit, this is what I, it's life. It's life. You scared for Cassie? Yeah, I think she'll be okay though. I think she'll be okay. Especially because of how hot things are. It would be way too suspicious if something happened to her. And more people are speaking out. This is fucking gorgeous. This is gorgeous. Like, look at this sky. Look at the moon. This is just everything. This is so beautiful. Yes, photo shoot. This is what your cats expected from you when you got them their treehouse. Oh, y'all, this is gorgeous. I cannot stop looking at this. Look at this. Now, how did his ass get up there? Oh, wow. Okay, so this is before. Wow, look at the little, they did the best. They did the best they could with these. Look at the sparkles in the sky. But man, what an improvement. What a fucking upgrade. This is a hard convo to be a part of. Oh, I'm sorry, Tony. Yeah, we can switch it up. I'm sorry, Tony. Yeah, we can definitely switch it up. We can let's lighten the mood. Let's lighten the mood. Yes. Yes, glad you're here, Tony. I'm glad that you did survive. And sending you lots of love. Can we get some hearts in the chat for Tony? If y'all have any heart emojis, let's get some hearts in the chat for Tony. Spread some love. Yes. Thank y'all. This is gorgeous though. I feel like I'm supposed to come over here. Yes. Yes, spreading the love. One thing I'm gonna do is spread love. Okay. This must be, is this a secret or something? Why do they have all these fucking boulders over here? For shotgun ammo? Do I even have my shotgun? Oh, let me stop talking shit. Cause I do have my shotgun. Let me stop talking shit. Of course, Tony. Yes. Come on, husband. I want like 4 new levels. Like this in a new game with a new story and everything. Me too, Future. I now want to go travel the world just for fun. Take like Laura. Yes. Oh my God. Somebody pay me to travel. All the guns were in the first level. Ooh, well, the first Egypt level. Well, shit. I missed that shit. Well, I missed it. I missed it. Okay, let's figure this out. Let's figure this out. We need 2 keys. The Uzis are impossible? Okay. Well, maybe next time. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. Maybe the next time. Maybe the next time. The Panther is coming to fight. Oh my God. Yeah, close that crock in there. Shit. Leave his ass in there. What's in here? Oh, the first key. Okay. Okay, key. No! Leave his ass in there. How would I feel watching Lara Croft in a fighting game? I would love that. I would love that. I feel like Lara would eat in a fighting game. Do y'all think so? I feel like Lara would eat in a fighting game. I I'm totally here for that. Oh, come on. What the fuck? I want out of this water. I would totally, that might get me into fighting games. Me too. I love when games do crossovers. She would eat in Street Fighter. Yes, she would. You know what else? I think she would be good in Streets of Rage. Could y'all see Laura running around in Streets of Rage? Mortal Kombat? Yes. People modded her into Tekken? Oh my gosh. I would love to see that. I love a good crossover. I do. I love a good crossover. Cause y'all see they put her in Fall Guys. There's like a Lara Croft Fall Guys skin. I would love to see her in like a racing game too. Like, oh, you know what? I would love to see Lara Croft and Laura. I would love to see Laura and Spyro in Crash Team Racing. Hey, everything. Welcome in. How are you? It's good to see you. Happy Monday. Oh, they did have Laura. Yes, they did. Didn't they put her in Power Washing Simulator? Yes. I would love that. If Metal Gear can be in Smash Brothers and Kratos in Mortal Kombat, Lara Croft can too. Yes. You having a rough go today? Oh no, I'm sorry. I hope you feel better. Come on in and relax. Come on in where the table is spread. Come on in. Have a seat, grab snacks, get cozy. We're just chilling. Trying to get through this damn DLC. Yeah, we vibing tonight. Not X and the page don't exist. Oh damn, did they delete the damn tweet? Okay, I see those blocks up there. I feel like those blocks are movable. There we go. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You're gonna need some Marcus level encouragement. Look, we added sound. Baby! Listen, for what it's worth, everything, I know that is very difficult to navigate, but I believe in you and you can get through it. You can get through it. I lost my job last year. It was my dream job. I got laid off last year from my dream job. I was working at Twitch.
Lord, that ever Croft.
Gonna alert. Okay, Nate. Thanks for hanging out tonight. I hope you have a great day at work tomorrow too and get some rest. Yes, but I hope you find something better. I did not know what I was gonna do, but I made it through. I made it out of it. So just know that you can make it out of it. You can make it. You can find something better. I was able to find something. You know, it took a while, but I still was able to do it. So, you know, just definitely stay encouraged. Yeah, definitely stay encouraged. And I'm sending you lots of love and good vibes. And, you know, give yourself time to process and like, you know, coping things and just taking in. Give yourself time to have a break. But yeah, I'm definitely thinking of you and sending you lots of love and good vibes and stuff. And try to get rest. Should have been asleep an hour and a half ago. Oh damn, Nate. You better get some rest. Okay, we got both the keys. Welcome in. Need to head up to. Good night, Tony. Thank you for coming by. It's good to see you as always. Have a great night. And I will see you next time. It looks like we almost out of this level too. Yeah, so you won't be too tired in the morning. I'm gonna tell them Brandy keep don't play on me. Oh no, don't blame it on me. Blame it on Laura. This Laura's fault. She keeping us all up with these damn DLCs and games and shit. This is Laura's fault. She be keeping my ass up too. For feel good, I recommend 3OW's Baby I'ma Do Right. Kiss Keely's Give Me. I love that song. I'm getting a little tired. Broken promises. Looking at your page, numbers and numbers. Calling on your side, hanging with your fellas. Jealous and jealous. You know what line cracked me up when they was rapping on that song and she said, "You promised me Kate Spade, but that was last year, boy, in the 8th grade." First of all, who is promising Kate Spade in the 8th grade? Not playing, please. You better. Oh, good luck on that. Good luck, JSR. Broken promises. Oh my God. I'm like, first of all, who was promising Kate Spade in the 8th grade? Like, oh, I love how the lights turned on. Oh, turn on the lights in the temple. Oh, okay. Marcus, please. Player, please. Oh, hell no. Oh my God, bro. They did. Wait, was it Marcus? Marcus. Not you coming in here with the 3LW lore. Are you serious? Cameron wrote that song and it was a diss toward Bow Wow? I didn't fucking know that. I did not know that. The 8th grade line was a diss toward Bow Wow. Oh my God. Wow, I had no idea. It was on MTV years ago. Oh my God. That is wild. I did not know that. Now I hear his ass down there growling. Let me save it again. From Polar Express. I used to love me some Bow Wow. Not the girl with the wait, because I never seen Polar Express. I love me some Bow Wow. I don't care what nobody say. He was a huge part of my childhood. I had every Bow Wow CD. He have his moments, but I mean, hey, don't we all? Cameron co-wrote the song. That's still a really good fun fact, because I did not know that. I did not know that. It's a Christmas classic. Maybe I'll watch it this holiday, because I've never seen it. Isn't Tom Hanks in that film? There's a conspiracy theory. Oh my gosh, because they look alike? No. I love me some Lil Mama too. She be cracking me up. She played Ray J. When we getting a Yale album for all the songs. Not you got my attention. Oh my god. Love her lip gloss? Yes. She played the hell out of Left Eye. We on in and hey my what's up? Alright. And we gonna get in and oh shit! Save it. They do. But yeah, she played Left Eye so good in the Left Eye biopic. Oh my god, she played it so good. She was so good in Left Eye. In the TLC biopic. She played the hell out of what? This is timed? Oh my god. Why's everything wait, what? What the fuck? And it's a current? Why is it a current in here? What the hell? Oh my god. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. Me too. I love Left Eye. Yes, they were. I love TLC and Black. I love them both. TLC and Black, love them. Okay. Okay, so it appears that this shit is fucking timed. Oh, I hate shit. I hate when shit is timed. This game already stressful enough without a fucking timer. I love Black. And I be going boom like an 808. Be making circles like a figure 8. Hey. Now, what's that one song that me and Marcus be laughing at? What is it? They got it. It's is it NSYNC or Blackstreet Boys that they got it with? It does. Black hits so good. Yes. I don't even need to pick up the Magnums, Magnum ammo, because I ain't pick up the damn Magnums. Damn, I'm blanking on that song. I sing it all the time. Oh, baby, bring it all to me. Oh, look at this. Give me your time, your love, your space, your energy. Hey. Oh, baby, bring it all to me. But I don't need no fancy cars or diamond ring. This is so pretty. This is really well done. Tell me what's the deal? Wouldn't be too forward if I told you how I feel. Need a man to keep it real, so for real. And you feeling my tin, my baggy jeans, my thug appeal. I'm like, first of all, who told you you had thug appeal? Who told you had thug appeal? Yes. I know, isn't the Panthers moving on the block so cool? And Laura just killing them all. Laura, this is disrespectful to Bastet. Is this the last level? I wonder if this is the last level of this DLC. That part always cracks me up when he talk about my thug appeal. That shit cracks me up every time. Because what? That's just such a random thing to say. Are you feeling my Timbs, my baggy jeans, my thug appeal? Right, thug appeal is a white man in baggy pants and Timbs. Oh my god, that cracks me up. That cracks me up. Okay, we got, how many keys do we have? We have 2 keys. 1, 2. We need 4 keys. Okay, we need 4 keys. Hey, Brandy in chat. Hey, Marcus. Just wanted to say I discovered you on YouTube. Had to follow here. Grew up with Tomb Raider, so it's amazing to see somebody enjoy it as much as me. You are hilarious and always cheer my day up. Oh, Mikey Mike. Thank you so much. Welcome in. I'm so glad you found me through YouTube. Welcome in. Oh, I'm glad that I can help make your day better. What's your favorite Tomb Raider game? If you have one. This cat playing games with me. You playing games. Ah! Please. Okay, I'm saving it. Okay, we got 3 keys. We need a 4th key. There's a 4th key somewhere. Oh my gosh, y'all, they really did so good with the art in this level. Look. Look at the art. Look at that. Oh my god, they did so good with this. Right, cat trying to play hide and eat. This looks so good. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Oh, I just gotta take pictures. They did so good with this. Uh-oh, wait. Good thing I turned around. Here come your thirsty ass. I'm just trying to admire the environment. Leave me alone. I was just trying to enjoy the scenery. Damn. No. Right. No. Hi, Nauseam. Welcome in. How are you? Definitely Tomb Raider 3. Minus the London levels. Okay. Yes, Tomb Raider 3 is also... Matter of fact, I'm playing. Give me my shotgun. I love Tomb Raider 3. That's my favorite as well. I love Tomb Raider 3. I feel like I played that one the most growing up was Tomb Raider 3. I played it so much. Love Tomb Raider 3. I would say my favorites are Tomb Raider 1, Tomb Raider 3, and Angel of Darkness. Hence why the Angel of Darkness soundtrack is playing in the background. Accomplished walk after finish. Right. Feeling accomplished and shit. Your ass on. I still think about the time you fell into the pit of gorillas when I was playing. Man. No, that was Tomb Raider 1. The gorillas are mad in Tomb Raider 1. Madness. Pure madness in Tomb Raider 1. Got me screaming walking into... Me screaming when I'm walking to work. Listen. This game knows when I'm trying to give it a compliment. Will I ever play Angel? Yes, absolutely. I streamed it on the channel before, but yes. So actually, when I get done with this DLC, we're gonna move into my playthrough of Tomb Raider 4. The Last Revelation. We're gonna start the Last Revelation next. I never done a full playthrough of it. Oh shit, we missing a key. I thought we needed 4 keys. We're missing a key? Oh shit. Okay, hold on. We're missing a key. Let me save it. Bump the scenery. I want to fight. Right. I only ever played 1. Then some weird remake. Like Anniversary. Anniversary is weird. What did you not like Anniversary, Nauseam? I thought I recognized the OST. The theme from The Serpent Rules is incredible. It is! It's so good. It's so good. So good. Is it overlapping? Is the music too loud? Here, let me turn me up. Let me turn me up. Okay, let me know if that's better. If y'all can hear me better. need my computer to really calm down and relax. Everything's okay. The water noise must be the soundtrack you playing. You heard water noise? Wait a minute. Never had games like this as a kid. My parents were big on no games with violence. Oh no, nauseum. I'm looking forward to seeing that playthrough because I never made it past the first level of the last revelation. Yeah, it's quite a time. I like the anniversary. It's contentious in the community though. It is. That's why I was curious what your thoughts are on it, because it is contentious in the community. No, really, I know a lot of people who like Legend. I like Legend. I really like Legend. My only complaint about Tomb Raider Legend is that it wasn't long enough. Audio levels are better. Sometimes it be going loud randomly. It does. I don't know. It's the freaking Angel of Darkness soundtrack going ham for no reason. Okay, we need to find this last key. Okay, I see a pushable block. But why is this pushable block right here? A little heavy on the weird QTE gimmicks, but you have fun with it. Oh, they just want to hide ammo? That's petty. That's petty. Okay. We are... Okay, I see an opening from up there. Which means we're probably gonna enter this room through the ceiling at some point. Yeah, I like Legend. Like I said, my only complaint is that it was too short. I wish it was longer. Alright, I know this door opens. Now, what I'm gonna go see is there a lever to pull? Oh my god, Nazium. Okay, is that the other key? No, that's a make it. That's a make it. Yes, I missed that. She did that in Tomb Raider 2. I missed that. I miss her doing that. I missed that. Okay, are we missing a lever or something? Oh shit. I can't help but not pick this up. Oh, her house and anniversary is really good. Yes. Yes. Laura's home and anniversary is really good. Oh wait, hold on. I didn't see this. Okay. Oh, there's the key. There's the 5th key. Nice. Okay. Okay. You know, we are actually doing pretty well. Stream's only been up for 3 hours. And we're moving through unfinished business pretty well. We finished the Atlantis chapter. And now we're like, what? Is this the 3rd level into Egypt? And it's your replay once you beat the giant list of portal mods. Yeah, definitely replay it. I know folks have been asking me to play it too, so I don't know if I'm gonna play it on stream or if I'm gonna do a YouTube video playthrough of it, because I want to do some YouTube let's plays and play through some games on there too. So we'll see. But yeah, I definitely want to. Brandy on business tonight. On business. Hi, Jackson. How are you? You gonna have to watch the VOD? Yes. How you doing, Jackson? I hope you're doing all right. It was a wild VOD. I'm putting it on YouTube. Okay. Something open. Right? Didn't something open? I don't think it was over here. I think it was over where I killed that panther. You doing good? I'm good. We've been having a fun night. So I can't even complain. Okay, what did that do? I put all of these keys in Hello? Oh, it opened that room. I'm like, damn, I didn't even hear a door open. Let me save it for something to jump out at me. Matter of fact, let me make another. Yeah, because this is Temple of the Cat. Okay. So we did the Hive, Return to Egypt, and Temple of the Cat. Okay. Yeah, of course, Nazium. Thanks for the lurk. Thanks for coming in and stopping by. Unfinished business. Wait. Unfinished business jumped you back in 1996. There we go. Oh my God. This is my first playthrough. And it's definitely, this game, this is tough. This one is tough. This one is tough. Like 100%. This one is... Let me make sure ain't nothing up here I need. This looks like a door that's gonna open. Yep, that's the name of the level. This is Temple of the Cat. Alright, let me save it right here. Okay. I'm always gonna pick up a med kit. Yeah. Egypt is cute. Egypt is cute. Atlantis. Oh my gosh. Shout out to cat lovers. Yes. I love me some cats. I definitely agree. Like, ooh, Atlantis. That Atlantis level was... Oh man. That was some shit. Like... That was... I don't know. I feel like I got a workout. Took me an embarrassing amount of time to find the lever to open that door down there. Okay, got you. So I'm gonna be extra. Let me make sure I'm extra aware. Catch you guys next stream. Enjoy the rest of your night. Good night, Brad. Thank you so much for hanging out. Appreciate you stopping through. Yeah. Marcus, be quiet. Be quiet. Those damn bowling shoes. Okay. The AOD soundtrack. Yes. Yes. They did. They had her in the Parisian ghetto. You walk by it a dozen times. It's not easy to see. It is not easy to see. I only saw it because, like, I've conditioned myself to always be looking around, looking up, looking at everything. No! Yes, that's the same Marcus. Yes, that's Marcus. That's the Marcus. The sound bites that's on the stream. The soundboard, that's him. That's my husband. Marcus too loud. That is him. There we go, Laura. Yes. You're an effing legend. Yes. I love anytime Marcus is getting some love. He definitely deserves it. This room is gorgeous. I love how it's the same color as Laura's shirt. God, I love this. Ooh, look how bright it is in the OG. Anything significant over here? You gotta make sure with Tomb Raider. Okay. Who turned the lights on right? It got bright, didn't it? Yes, our aesthetic queen. I love how she's matching this. Like, she's matching this area. This is so pretty. This level is gorgeous, okay? This is a gorgeous level. Like the markings on the wall, the hieroglyphs. Oh God, okay. I should have known. I should have known. Laura, we gotta get out of here, sis. Oh God. We might die. 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 Oh God, I can't find my way out. Okay, yep, there it is. Oh, yep. Yes, her shorts, her skin, it all matches. Okay, Laura, what are we supposed to do in here, sis? What's in here? What is in here? And why? Right, the Temple of Laura, because it literally, well, you know, there's a mural in here with her on it. Like she's in one of the hieroglyphs, I believe. Bro, what is this? Damn, I cannot find my way out of here. My God. Oh my God. Damn. Yes, what's the plot, Pookie? Exactly, Jackson. Had to make a left, right, left. Okay. Yeah, cause what? Yeah, losing breath just watching this, right? Okay. So this is very confusing. Ooh, I thought I was tripping. I really thought I was tripping. Oh. Oh boy. Okay, I think we're on the right track. This looks like where we just came from. This is where we just came from. But at least we got air. Okay. So maybe this way? This is a hell of a fucking maze. Nope, we've been here. Nope. Oh my God, leave me alone. Oh, okay. Oh, wait. Oh, okay, well, we at least got some water. Damn, I mean some air. Oh my God, leave me alone. Oh my God, leave me alone. Okay. And I can't. Okay, let's try this again. That turned the croc into a new purse. That is outrageous. He about to be if he don't leave me alone. Oh alone. Leave me alone. So, am I supposed to... What am I looking for? Am I looking for a lever? Or am I looking for another opening? What am I looking for? Oh, to a switch. So I am looking for a switch. Okay. I'm looking for a switch. Okay. What's up, June? What? How did my chat stop moving on the damn prompter? Not the chat not moving on the prompter. Okay, I'm gonna have to look over here. Not using photo mode. You know what? I should. For this, I should. Yeah. Normally, I don't mind looking and finding shit, but this is annoying. And yeah, let me go ahead and do photo mode for this, because okay, we're looking for a switch. We're looking for a switch. A switch. This is a really hidden switch. Oh, what? It's right here. Oh my God. I ought to kick my own ass. It was right there. You know how many times I went over there? Hey, Sebastian, welcome in. Okay, hold on. Let me get out of here. And I'm gonna catch up on chat. Let me just get up out of here. Okay. Great to catch you live. This music is making this water area even more intense. It is. It is. How are you doing, Sebastian? It's good to see you. Let me save it. I was impressed you haven't used it. Use it all the time. Yeah, I normally, I like the puzzle component and like figuring things out. I hear some bullshit. I hear some bullshit. I hear some bullshit. Stumping around. Let me say it. Let me hear. Oh my God. Here we go. Where is he? There we go. Ooh, shout out to the shotgun. Oh, this room is beautiful. Never mind. Now I don't think it was a boss fight. Oh, is there even a boss fight in the DLC? Okay. Okay. Let me save it. Oh my God! Ah! Oh my God! Oh my God! What? Why do I keep getting stuck? Oh. Jeez! I feel like we're getting close, y'all. I feel like we're getting close. I feel like we're getting close. Because I really want to beat this tonight. So that way my next stream we can start Tomb Raider 4. Saving it. Oh. Okay, I called it. I knew it was gonna fall back into this room. Oops. Okay, where's that room? It's over there. I think it's over there. Yeah, I'm really hoping that we flip this tonight. Okay, they're giving me the Uzis. That can't be a good sign. Seen so many Twitchers play 1 through 3, so it'll be refreshing to see 4. Yes. So excited to see you play 4. Yes, me too. I'm very excited. 4 does not get the love that it deserves. I know it's very difficult, and I'm just gonna put this out there now. We are definitely gonna be using some guides. We're definitely gonna use some guides. Oh my god, this looks like bad news. Look at all these mummies. Look at all these mummies waiting to come alive. Oh my god, y'all. Look at all these mummies. Oh my god. I'm saving it. TR4 feels like a movie with how the story is. Yeah, it's a very... I think Tomb Raider 4 is like the most Tomb Raider-y Tomb game. Next to... I think Tomb Raider 1 and Tomb Raider 4 have very... Oh, shit. That cracked me up just standing there. Ooh. Shout out to the shotgun. Shotgun is putting in work. But like even though I love Tomb Raider 3 and that's like one of my favorites, it really doesn't. I feel like Tomb Raider 2 and 3 like kind of steered away from the Tomb Raider. Look at him peeking over around this thing. When they wake up, go to the very end of the room where the sand is. Oh, got you. Okay. I think that's what I just did on the other side. I used to buy Tips and Trips magazine back in the day to help you. Yes, so yes, seriously. Cause I'll look up a guide in a heartbeat. I sure will. I will pull a good old Stella. I love The Mummy. I just watched that. I watched that movie a couple weeks ago. Love The Mummy. Yeah, this is a great spot. That cracked me up running. When you start beating their ass, they love to run. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. The hotline tips and tricks. I remember. 2 and 3 feel like its own thing. They're very, like, I think 2 and 3 have the most unique locations. Lord, I'm saving it again. Cereal saver. I wonder why they decided that was the sound the mummies would make. You know what? I would love to know too, Sebastian, because it's such a very... I can understand like when they're stalking and they're just doing the moan, but when they start jumping and they make that noise, like what is the... I would love to know the backstory behind that as well. Hi, Suzette. Welcome in. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well. This room. Look at this room. Oh my god. Oh, can we make Laura sit in the chair? Oh my god. I want to make Laura sit in the chair. Yes. Sit down, Laura. Set it on down. Yes. Not impressed. She's not impressed. She's not impressed. Yes, you're doing good. Awesome. I'm glad you're doing good. Are you a Tomb Raider fan? If so, I'd love to know what some of your favorites are. Right. She can't be bothered. She cannot be bothered, okay? Ha! Bathrobe. Yes. Laura said, excuse me? You waking me up in the middle of the night for what? She is not having it. She don't have time for the silly shit. She does not have time for the silly shit. Oh, yes. Oh, I love that video. Do you remember the time? Oh, my God. This room. Look at this room. Oh, my gosh. It's even beautiful in the OG. Look at this room. Oh, my gosh. These steps are just... I love it. This room is so pretty. Right, on to the next. One thing about Laura from 1 to 3, she said, did her big one and dip? She did. What? Oh my God. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! What a jerk! Where did he come from? Where did he come from? There's literally nowhere for him to come from. Oh my God, look at my health. Oh my God. Y'all, that was so disrespectful. Oh, that was so disrespectful. Not the camera angle doing that. Is that Laura's reflection down there on the wall? Oh my God. He NYC subway, right? Oh my God, I cannot believe he did that. That was wild. Oh. Okay, camera. Please, these camera angles are killing me. Camera angles are killing me. I can't see. Okay, they put a bridge here. Where is that? Oh, I'm assuming that it's over here. Oh, the door we were looking for. Yeah, it's down here. Oh my God. Y'all. The enemies in this game really have it out for me. Okay. Let's save it. I feel like something's about to jump out at me. I knew it. Fucking crack. Oh, here it is, y'all. Here it is. This is the... Here it is. Laura's, yes. You see it? You see her? You see Laura on there? Yes! Isn't that so cool? Isn't that so freaking cool? Ah! Every time I'm trying to live my life, this game betrays me. Never noticed it before? Yeah, isn't it so cool? It's in the OG too. I love that. Love it, love it, love it. Isn't it? Big Laura Big Crow. Oh my God, please, 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 please. Let me out. Let me out. Let me out. Let me out! Ah! Oh, it's an achievement. Stare at it for 5 seconds. Yes, stare at that for 5 seconds and you get an achievement. We just got it. I love the architecture and design they put in this game. It's really amazing. It is. Isn't it so amazing? I love it so much. It's so amazing. Okay, we opened something. What was it though? See, that's one thing I'm really bad at. It's opening some shit in this game and not remembering what I did. Book a flight to Egypt is real pretty over here, right? It did. The croc, the panther, the freaking mummies, like the everything. And I do not remember. Was that it? Maybe this was it. They are so ruthless. Okay. Also, just I did add the I made this announcement earlier, but if you might have missed it, I did add some channel redemptions. But one of them is for to redeem a voice with a voice mod, where I talk in I use a voice mod voice for 5 minutes, but for some reason when you redeem it, it's not, the chat is not alerting me. So if you have redeemed that, you have to just tell me, or else I won't know. Yes, the redemptions are fun. Okay, I see a lever. I'm just trying to get through this level. I don't even know what's over there. Guns out. Okay. I don't know what. Oh my God. How many is it? Something just closed. Was it the first door that closed? No. Oh no. Oh no, this can't be good. Oh my God. I got killed by his freaking limb when he exploded. The very end one is to go to the end stretch. Okay. Nar. I love Nar. Nar. Alright, so then what does this do? Is this just a trap room? Oh my god. No, that's not good at all. You have the explosive limbs you have to watch out for. Oh, whoa. Wow, what is this? Is this all lead to the same room? What is this? Oh, I'm there? Okay. Okay. Oh, hi, Chandri! Welcome in. How are you? The best part? Okay. That makes me very excited. Oops. How are you? Welcome in. Uh-oh. Get away. You love this room so much. Listen, this game is just glorious, okay? This game... Uh-oh. Oh my god. Jeez. So aggressive. It's so good. Love that you're playing this. Yay! Yeah, I'm having a great time with it. The Atlantis chapter definitely kicked my butt. It definitely kicked my butt 100%. But the Egypt levels were very refreshing. And they're so beautiful. Like, oh my god. Let me save it. Wait, where am I? Okay, yeah, let's save it. Atlantis is wild. Like, oh my goodness. Atlantis is so stinking wild. Like, what the fuck? I ain't know what was going on. This is so beautiful. Look at this room. Look at this everything. This is just so good. Oh. No, I hear you. I hear you. They sound hungry. Not a hate crime. Not a hate crime. Wait a minute. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I was trying to look up. Oh wow. Look at this. Oh. Hello. But this is beautiful. I don't even know what this is. But this is really pretty. All right, let's make our way up there. Yes, there are quite a few panthers trying to get me. Can't wait for you to see it in all its glory. Ooh, I can't wait to. I can't wait. I can't wait. Uh-oh. Y'all got me really excited. Oh, y'all got me really excited. I love when things are like, oh! Oh! Okay. Hold on. I see somebody else. Nope. Back it on up. Back it on up. Oh no! I'm out of shotgun ammo! Well, okay, I got Uzis. No! I need my shotgun. Hi, Mr. Magius, welcome in. How are you? Good to see you. Welcome in. How's it going? Who like Dark Souls games? Oh my gosh. That's what I've heard too. I've heard that people say that about Tomb Raider in general. Okay, I see Uzi clips down there. We're gonna go get them. Okay, let's see. Also, we're getting ready to save it because I came too far to go back. I want a barbecue. Ugh, I can't wait for it to get warm. I want a barbecue so bad. Yay! Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh my gosh. Look at that. I see a cat head with some teeth in it. We're gonna take care of him now. So we ain't gotta worry about him later. Look at an old graphics. Oh my god. Wait a minute. It is so campy. It is so campy. Oh my god. It is so campy. Look at it. I actually like it better in the old graphics. He does. Right, the spiked teeth. Look at the teeth. I cannot with the teeth. I really can't. The teeth. I think it looks better. I like it better in the OG. Cause it's I like how bright it looks in the OG graphics. They got a big ass cat head in here. This is great. It's giving Big Purr. Yes, perfection. Oh my gosh. I love that. Let me save it again. And little Laura like to jump and fall. Oh man. That's beautiful. I love that. I really do. I love that. Damn, these DLCs, you know what I love about these DLCs? And I really hope that the Golden Mask is also like this, but they really, I love how they put such quirky, unique things. Right, it doesn't take itself too seriously. And like I really love how they put such quirky and like unique things in these games. I love that. It's just such a nice added touch. A very nice added touch. Yes, yes, bring back camp in games, especially Tomb Raider. Like I feel like video games really strayed away from the campiness because they tried to be too realistic, and like I'm just not with it. Like the realism is okay, I guess, but bring the campiness back. Oh shit. Just shoot. No. Okay. Oh, can we get up there? I want to get up there. Let me save it. Golden Mask starts real cute. Oh, really? Okay. Never really thought about that before, but y'all are so right. The campy isolation made this game a classic. Yes, it worked so well together. Yes, it made it kind of cozy to me. The hand or the exclamation mark? I prefer the hand. And you know why? Because I feel like the hand is also giving camp. Like the hand feels more Tomb Raider to me. Like it feels more Lara Croft to me. Oh my God. Can I get up there? Can I get up here? Or is this the end? No, I can't. But the moon. I'm obsessed with this night sky. Wow. Look at the before and after. They really went in. Look at that one lone star over there. Wow. This is just amazing to me. Like, yeah. Yeah, cozy. Yeah, it's like it's a cozy gaming experience. And like I love it. I love that. I love the isolation and campiness. Okay, but what are we supposed to do, Laura? Are we supposed to jump over here? This don't look promising. But most of your jumps don't look promising. You thought yeah, it was more subtle. It was more subtle. Yes, me too. Oh God, we actually fucking made it. Oh God, here come your bitch ass. Oh, I thought he pushed me off. Oh my God, I'm saving it. The solar system. Yes, me too. Me too, Suzette. Okay, we made it up here. Oh my God, are you fucking kidding me? Are you serious? Wait, did they really make the cat stick its tongue out? Look at that. Look at this. Hold on, I gotta put the voice on for this.
Wait a minute. Unique? Unique? Hi, Moogie Light. Welcome in. How are you? Right, thank goodness I didn't fall. I was so close. Oh my God, I had to do it.
Oh my God. Right, the cat said, mwah. Come on.
Real hot girl shit.
Real hot girl shit. That's what the cat said. The cat said real hot girl shit. I'm obsessed. Wait, hold on. I gotta see it. I gotta get a picture of it with the OG graphics too. Yeah, this is my first time doing unfinished business.
Laura Croft, get your ass up.
Oh man, I love it so much. Okay, so I assume that we can just run down here and slide on down. Yes. Oh man, this is everything. Oh, this just made me love Tomb Raider even more. Because this is everything. This is just wonderful. This is wonderful. Aren't they so cute? Loved Unfinished Business personally, but much more the Egypt levels. Yes, because the Atlanteans. Oh! Oh, yay! We did it! We did it, y'all! Yay! Let's go!
Real hot girl shit.
Real hot girl shit! Yes! Yay! They did! They did a beautiful job with the remaster and the skybox. Yay! GG's! Thank you, Moogie. Thank you. Thank you, Future, for the redeem. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Chandra, for the GGs. Oh my gosh. Yes, completely finished. Yes. Oh, that was awful. I mean, not awful. Why did I say awful? I was trying to say awesome. That was awesome. That was awesome. Wow. That was great. That was great.
Here at twitch.tv/JoeBrandy, we get nothing but the wins, nothing but the wins, nothing but the motherfucking wins.
Nothing but the wins. That's rather right, Chandra. I was not even trying to say that. Let's see. Oh my gosh, let me switch over. That was so great. That was great. I enjoyed that a lot. The Atlantis levels definitely kicked my butt, but it's okay. It's okay. It was a fun time. I really did enjoy this. I feel so good because, like, I never got to play the expansions growing up. I never got to experience them. So I've now played through The Lost Artifact and Unfinished Business, and I feel just so accomplished. Like, I feel so accomplished. This is just great. I'm so grateful that they included the DLCs with these. Like, that was a great, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. That was just a great idea. Like, I'm just so grateful. Because essentially, like, literally, we got 6 games in one. We got 6 games in one. Like, you really cannot beat that. Especially nowadays when games are like, the newer games that come out is like $60, $70 damn dollars. Love the spooky atmosphere too. Me too. That's one of the things that's always drawn me in to Tomb Raider is like the spooky aspect of it. Extra bang for your buck. Exactly. Atlantean levels were interesting to me because you really see how Laura escaped at the end of TR1. But yeah, enemies were annoying. They were so annoying. Like, I can't even describe how annoying they were. They kept popping up. Thank y'all so much, though. This was great. Oh, now you're the queen. I'm definitely not. I'm just me. I'm just Bran. I'm just Bran. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like when people call me the queen. I do not like it. I don't like it. It's just, I don't know. It just feels like a lot of pressure. And like, I am just enjoying the ride and getting through Tomb Raider as best I can. But I appreciate y'all being here and supporting and still saying positive things. But that's like not my thing, being called the queen. I'm not the queen of anything. I'm just me. You know what I'm saying? I think this is queen stuff. I'm glad you think so. But I appreciate y'all. Made my lips dry. Woo. You do you, girl. Thanks, Suzette. But yeah, this was great, y'all. This was really great. I had a great time tonight. I'm very glad that we finished. We're gonna wrap up in just a moment. A couple of quick I gotta do my Duolingo today. I'm trying to learn French, y'all. But yeah, this was fun. This was great. So what we're gonna do, a couple of announcements. You're the TR TikTok queen to me because those Tomb Raider clips are so funny. I appreciate that. I literally cannot believe how much people like the clips on TikTok, because I didn't even realize that there was a TikTok community on a Tomb Raider community on TikTok. Like, I was on TikTok before, but I was just uploading like my Fortnite clips and just like other stuff like that. I really wasn't like super deep into it. Also, I was doing a lot of food content, so I like to do restaurant reviews and try food. So I was just doing stuff like that. And you know, I've been playing Tomb Raider forever, but I never thought to like put my clips up like that. Like, but I'm glad it did. I'm glad I did, because that's been a game changer. And so much fun. So much fun. So much fun. Like, seriously, so much fun. I will be honest, you've made me feel super welcome no matter what. I'm glad, Mr. Mackius. I'm glad. My mom likes your TikToks. That's where she found you. Really? Oh my gosh. I love that. I love that you and your mom are enjoying it. Like, that's so freaking cool to me. That is so cool. I love that. Thank y'all for the support. Honestly, like, seriously, thank y'all for the support. I really appreciate it. I'm just glad that I get to share something that I'm really passionate about, something that I love with you guys. And it just means a lot. You know, this is like, I don't know, it's healing for me too. You know, especially in this world with all this stuff going on. Like, I really look forward to just hanging out with y'all and kicking it and yelling at Laura. But yes, we are gonna wrap it up. So a couple of announcements. So this is my last stream for the week. I'm gonna be out of town this week, so I will be back next week on Monday, same time on Monday. Good night, Future. Thanks for coming through and hanging out. Appreciate you. We're gonna raid someone, but yes, this is my last stream for the week. I'll be back Monday, but keep an eye on YouTube. I am gonna put this VOD on YouTube, and I'm gonna put the last part of my playthrough of the Lost Artifact on YouTube as well. So definitely make sure you all check out YouTube. Thank you. Yes, I'm going to GDC, which is Game Developers Conference. It's my first time going, and I'm also presenting. I'm doing my first micro talk there. So I'm very nervous about the whole ordeal. I love to travel, but the traveling part makes me nervous. I don't like planes and stuff. So, but yes. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great week. I'll still be uploading clips to TikTok. You saw on Twitter, that's awesome. Thank you, Chandri. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, so when we get back, we'll do some just chatting when I get back on stream next Monday. We'll talk about GDC and stuff. And then we are gonna start on, I was supposed to continue Unfinished Business from next stream, but since we finished it, we're gonna start Tomb Raider 4. We're gonna start the last revelation next Monday on a week from today. So the next stream we will be playing the last revelation. So I'm so excited. Thank you, Suzette. So let's see if I can drop a raid to someone. I feel like you all really love Tomb Raider, so I'm gonna send y'all over to another person who's playing Tomb Raider. I'm gonna send y'all over to Wellstone. Wellstone's doing Tomb Raider. He's a speedrunner. His streams are super fun. He's playing Tomb Raider 1, doing some 80% glitchless speedrun. So we're gonna go say hi to Wellstone. Y'all have a great rest of your week. Be safe out here. Take care of yourselves. Make sure you hydrate. Make sure you eat. Make sure you take your meds. I know for me, I need a reminder for me to take mine. Yeah, so we're gonna go see Welly and share some love. Make sure y'all share some love, especially since he's speed running. And it's always nice to share love when folks are practicing speed runs and stuff like that, because I know I be needing the love. So yeah, we're gonna go see Wellstone. But yeah, I will see you all next time. Thank y'all so much for coming through. And yeah, I'll see y'all next week for Tomb Raider 4, The Last Revelation. Good night.